Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from asortofinterestinglife.com. You're joining me on board good old narrowboat Tilly. I apologise if I was just a little bit distracted as a dog ran across the side of the window here at the edge of the boat immediately as I started speaking. So anyway, you're joining me on board good old narrowboat Tilly, usual introductions and so on. Today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different to the normal boating videos and outdoors and so on. We're talking about this. This is my 42mm Apple Watch Sport Edition. I've been using it for the last day and a half, and what I thought we would do is have a quick unboxing video, but instead of just doing the usual unboxing because people have seen those a million times at this point, I thought I would have the unboxing as the main part of the video and put myself in a box and just be somewhere in the corner of a screen somewhere and just give you a few of my first impressions from the last 24 hours or so of using it. So without further ado, let's dive in. I'm going to get in my box and let's get in this Apple Watch box. So then, my first thoughts on taking it out of the box was, wow, this is small, and I literally had to check on the box to make sure that it was actually the 42mm model, because it seems absolutely tiny, and that was partly a relief because I was worried it was going to be absolutely enormous when I got it on my little spindly arms here, but also at the same time when I saw it I was like, I'm worried if this is going to be a little bit small to read stuff on the screen, but I'm happy to say that so far it's been absolutely fine. Now, the second thing that I thought was, oh my goodness me, this is absolutely amazing, and I don't know what it is, and you can have all of these endless arguments, oh, Apple Watch is rubbish, it's for the idiots and all that sort of stuff, and maybe that's all true. It certainly isn't an item that you're suddenly going to find that you need in your everyday life. I can vouch for that, but just the actual item itself and the build quality and just, I can't explain to you what it is, but I feel as if this is one of the most solid and technology crammed items that I've ever had, and I genuinely, I like me gizmos and the Apple stuff and so on, and I was one of the people who had a very down view on the Apple Watch, and then it grew on me over time, and I thought, you know what, let's just go for it, treat yourself, dive in. And so when it arrived, I still had those expectations of, I'm not sure whether I'm going to like this or not. But I can honestly say, from that moment of first switching it on and setting it up and just actually holding it, it's like, my goodness me, this really does feel like it's good. And I can't fault the actual hardware. It's like, the sports strap, lovely jubbly, it's a weird feeling. It almost feels like you should be able to peel it off and eat it, and maybe be one of those sugar-coated, like, stretchy sweets that you'd bite into and have to stretch away with your hand, and those sort of, it's got that sort of element and feel to it, I've got to say. Perhaps that's a bit weird, and please do not eat your Apple Watch, or any part of it. But, moving swiftly on from that ridiculous derailment, the thing that I'm fascinated with is how, like, you've got the Force Touch, so it's like adding an extra layer, so it's almost like adding an extra button to the screen without ever having anything on the screen itself, if that makes sense. Of it knows the difference between just tapping it and pressing harder. It's got, obviously, like, needs your phone to connect up to Bluetooth to do a lot of stuff, and equally I've been fascinated that there's quite a lot on the watch that you sort of don't need the phone for, such as like all the activity tracking and things like that. It obviously can't track you like with GPS and that without your phone, but just simple things like being able to look and have your heartbeat, or well, even right now, for example, just looked at it then because I got a little tap and I've got a Facebook notification appeared, and it was as subtle as that. That's another thing that I absolutely love, that well, if you turn the signs on, obviously you can have a little ding when you've got a notification coming, but it's impossible to hear. If you're speaking to somebody, it's like I can't hear the watch itself go off if I'm just in another conversation. Whereas even with the phone in the pocket, you're very familiar these days to just hearing a slight background hum every now and then of a of the vibrate of a phone. And that's another thing that I love about this. But getting back to some sort of basic relevant topic and talking on this Apple Watch subject, I don't want this video to go on too much long as we're approaching 5 minutes already, my apologies. But like I say, it's basically, it feels really good quality. It's got all these different features and that, and like the heart rate sensor. And again, I'm not saying that this is suddenly an amazing must-have device that you can't live without, because it's definitely not. But as just a gadget and a gizmo, I'm really enjoying it. But equally, being able to be walking around and just like quickly tap like a favourite on a tweet and so on, all of that sort of stuff, I am genuinely fascinated by, because I feel already that it's been 10 times quicker to just go, oh, what's that? Oh, Twitter. Oh, somebody's tweeted at me. Oh, right, I'll give that a favourite, because I try to favourite rather than reply to a lot of stuff and force a reply if there's nothing really to say. And it's simple things like that that genuinely I'm thinking, well, you know what, this is actually more handy and more like straightforward and simple than using my phone. Similarly, with the Strava bike riding app as well, it's like, to start that on my phone, because I always forget about it, I have to unlock my phone, then go to the Strava app and press start. Now, that's hardly the worst thing in the world, but because I'm wearing my biking gloves, I have to take one off, or I can press the phone really hard to make it register. I find that the watch picks up my fingers a lot easier through the through my biking gloves, but the crazy thing is I can literally activate the watch and then say, hey Siri, open the Strava app, and then tap on the bike ride, and it's literally, I've said something out loud and press the screen once, and that's it, you're recording. And again, it doesn't seem like anything at all, it's this minor thing, and I wasn't expecting it to be any sort of impact whatsoever, but it's literally about 3 seconds to do. And equally, you can just tap twice, and I think, yeah, you can tap twice, maybe 3 times on this, and again, in a matter of a couple of seconds, be manually tapping to go to the Strava app and then start recording. And it's stuff like that that I'm interested as time goes on and I figure out more of the features and more of the apps that have got extensions for it, and especially later on this year when they release WatchOS 2 so that you can have apps that run specifically on the watch itself. But admittedly, I haven't found that there's been many apps that have really long loading times that I've thought, whoa, this is bad, this is like way too long to load. But I have seen some people have been having issues with that, so I'm certainly not saying it doesn't exist. But again, it's all these initial little things that I've discovered and actually thought, well, you know what, I didn't have wildly high hopes for this, but it's actually proven to be really handy and really useful already. And I've gone from being like, God, who'd want an Apple Watch a couple of months ago, to, hang on, this is actually something that I can see myself wearing for the foreseeable future, because it's actually already making things more handy to do. And like I say, I mean, again, I'll do a proper video, proper talking after I've used it for a couple of weeks, maybe a week, I don't know. We'll get to it very soon. I'll also do a couple of comparisons in the step tracking compared from the Apple Watch to the Jawbone Up, if I can say that. Oh my goodness me. But as I say, this video has been going on for a long time. The white balance in this video has gone all wild and I've gone absolutely, completely like a ghost here. Thank you very much for watching. I'll wrap things up swiftly now and simply say I've really enjoyed using this so far, and I'm very interested to see what I end up using it for as time goes on, because already I'm feeling like this is going to be one of my favourite items that I've ever bought, although I admittedly will definitely be buying a less garish strap to go with it as well. Moving on from that, let's get everything ended for this video and let you go about your daily lives. Also, I apologise if the rain on the roof has been interfering with the audio here. So, I'll say, feel free to subscribe to the channel for my future watchy videos. Feel free to check out my other videos. There's loads of boat life and all sorts of different things. Might be slightly different to the videos that you normally watch if you have come here looking for Apple Watch reviews and unboxing. So please do consider checking it out for something a bit different. Life on a boat and all that. Great stuff. Feel free to add me or follow me on Facebook or follow me on Twitter. Like the Facebook page, loads of boaty pictures, all that sort of stuff. And please do consider checking out my books for the Kindle. Search Amazon for The Narrowboat Lad and find links to all my books and everything else, and even more than what's just been mentioned, in the description below. Until the next time, keep it watch-worthy, keep it boat-worthy, and farewell.